Working. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here. I'll just quickly introduce myself. I am Ankita, and I'm part of ClickPost. I lead the fashion vertical at ClickPost. To help you know why exactly we are here. So we all know that fashion industry was the first one who rode the D2C wave very well when it actually hit us 2.5 years back. And at that time, brands realized that it's very important to go omni-channel. So we have over here with us someone who has not just managed to ride the wave, but also internalize it in a large retail organization such as Arvind Fashions. So I have over here Mr. Shishir Gupta, who leads the digital business at Arvind Fashions. Shishir, we would love to hear about your business vertical. So if you could just introduce that vertical so that we can go ahead with the case study.
Sure. So digital for us is omnichannel, and that remains the core thesis of our digital strategy. When we talk about omnichannel, it's not easy because it brings in a lot of complexity. You have multiple fulfillment centers, stores, warehouses from where you are processing these orders. We've been able to manage this complexity with a lot of sophistication and have achieved, I'll say, significant milestones, both in terms of growth and in terms of efficiency. So that's where we are, and that's what this business do. I mean, we are very, very focused on scaling up scaling up digital business based or backed on the omni-channel strategy.
All right. So to manage this kind of complexity, to reach the scales at which Arvind Fashion is at, there must be a lot of things that you would have to perfect. Like you have to make sure that the things are well understood, implemented, and executed. So, would like to understand along this journey, what were some of the challenges that your team faced?
See, when a business is small and is scaling up, you suddenly realize that what you have right now is not enough. You need more efficiency, you need more speed, you need to reduce costs, you need to increase your customer experience. So, example, to name a few, what was important for us is to have a carrier allocation or a courier allocation done on the basis of some customer context, some performance context, and just not any random decision-making process. The second problem, which is not just our problem but everybody's problem in the industry, is the return to origins or RTOs. The orders that go and then they come back, without customers accepting these, you end up paying double the logistics cost. The third is that there are a lot of workflows. When you start shipping out, there are a lot of workflows. One of the workflows is that if a customer has denied to accept a courier, what do we do after that? If a customer or if a carrier has not reached out, but he's marked that I have attempted a delivery, how do you deal with that? So you're dealing with all of that through a manual process. But in a nutshell, these are all the complexities which comes in, which compels you to demand more and to deliver a greater customer experience.
Right. I'm sure a lot of people here would resonate with these problems or would be facing these challenges. So for the benefit of everyone, Shishir, if you could just help us, how did your team maneuver through these problems and challenges?
So I think the first thing that we realized that whatever that we have was not enough, in terms of the technology. There's a lot of data being created and we were not using that data to optimize our processes. And as I said, a lot of is being done with respect to how do we generate demand, how do we make our ROIs in marketing or, Facebook and Google better? How do we make sure that the customers repeat? But, all of this boils down to the customer experience that we give, and the logistics part is the backbone of all of that. So what we realize that we need more. We need a system that understands our data and gives us the right recommendation. So we started bringing customer context into our carrier allocation. For example, we know that, this is the LTV bifurcation or the cohorts that we have. So for example, for our top 2 cohorts, we made sure that a premium or a faster shipping carrier allocation is done. We started bringing a lot of carrier performance variables into our carrier allocation, which is which lane they are able to ship fully, or they're bringing back the product. What is their speed of performance? Are they delivering it in 2 days, 3 days, 1 day? For example, there could be a case where a cheaper carrier can deliver between one pin code to another pin code in 2 days, but an expensive one can deliver in 3 days. But a system needs to understand all of that based on the history and recommend that, please go ahead with the cheaper one. It doesn't make sense. You'll still be able to deliver in 2 days. So a lot of cost efficiency because of this carrier. The second bit was, again, I mentioned about the workflows. So, these workflows, when a customer doesn't accepts an order, then, the SMS, there's an SMS that goes, there's an email that goes. Based on the duration of whether the customer has replied or not. There's an SMS that goes. Then at the end, if nothing has worked out, then it goes to the customer care center to call up that customer and ask that, do you want this order to get delivered? So, all of this has become a lot more automated. I know the teams working on Excel sheets. I are no more working on those large Excel sheets. They work on dashboards. They work on reports. They work on workflows, automating these workflows. I think that's what we've been able to do so far over the last 2 years.
Another challenge which I feel for brands like yours could be to match the experience of customers from the marketplaces, from what they are experiencing at Amazon and Flipkart and Myntra. So what about the customer experience expectations? How did you manage that?
So, the first part of the customer experience is that, Amazon has made it very clear that you order right now and you get it delivered tomorrow. And I think that's what is the expectation of any customer. If not tomorrow, but at least, within 3 days. So 3 days is the minimum expectation of anyone buying online. It varies from product to product. If it is consumer electronics and, high value consumer electronics, then 1 day or same day. If it is fashion, then 2 to 3 days is good enough. The first thing that we did is that when we moved to a newer logistics management system, is that we got a speed to market. We could onboard any carrier that we want within a click of a button. Within 24 hours, we could just onboard a carrier. So we quickly started attributing, what kind of carrier in which geographies do we need, and, making sure that our customer experience is intact. The simple rule is that if you reduce your delivery time by half, the probability of a customer converting increases by 2 times. That means, if you're able to reduce the delivery time, your marketing can become 2x efficient. Your site funnel can become 2x efficient. So, that was one of the things. The second bit is that giving a customer a visibility of where the shipment is. So earlier we saw there was a lot of anxiety because, we were not showing the customer that it has moved from this hub to hub number 2. It is now closer to your location. It's going to get delivered. There was a lot of anxiety, and then that's why our customer contacts were really high. When you bring this transparency to the customer and make them engage to you digitally, giving you feedback, giving you carrier ratings, this all helps us to improve and become much better. The customer experience is all about getting to know the customer's pain point and make sure you prioritize and work on it. I think these are 2 points that really help us to improve our customer experience. And I've already said that bringing in customer context into choosing a carrier was, I think, one of the game changer.
Awesome, Shishir. Thank you so much for being so candid. I would just like to highlight that ClickPost is there at Urban Fashion for last 2 years. I think Urban Fashion is using it for last 2 years, and we are very happy to solve brands' logistics-related problems like carrier allocation, like Shishir mentioned, and it could not just be based on serviceability and pricing, but also some other factors like customer type and other variables that you would like to add. Apart from that, managing the entire post-purchase or the post-order journey, both in terms of your logistics team and your customers, both the expectations can be managed through ClickPost. Shishir, we would like to just conclude by asking you one question. So there are a lot of softwares now which are available for retail brands. At Arvind Fashions, how do you choose any software, and why did you choose ClickPost?
I think the first point that I choose is whether a partner can service, is it an enterprise focused or an SME focused? So, the demand or requirement of an enterprise would be very different from an SME or a small and medium enterprise. So I think that's the first point that I look at. The second thing is, if I have a strategy or the team has a strategy in place that 2 years down the line, these are the new features that we need. We can't do it right now, but we want to do it in the next 2 years. So we want to make sure that the partner that we're choosing at least have the must-haves that we need and the nice-to-haves that we need within 2 years. So we have to think about 2 years, at least 2 years, whether the partner can support you, for those feature sets. The third thing and very important thing is that you should be at least some share of wallet of the partner you're choosing. If you're too tiny, you won't get response, you won't get that kind of a service. And the fourth thing that's really important is that what is the customer orientation? So for a customer orientation for my partner is me and my team. How great is that customer orientation? How fast or responsive they are to solve our problems? Because we will experience something or the other breaking every now and then, but there has to be a promptness in the way the team replies. And I can give an example in this case, Prashant and Naman, who are the co-founders, when we were launching, I think they were present in all the initial, hiccups that we had, and, even the post experience was amazing. So, that's how I really go and choose the partners.
Great. Thank you so much, Rishir, for your kind words. It's companies like you, brands like you, who has helped us be focused and innovate more in this particular journey. Thank you so much, audience. We would be happy to take up any questions related to logistics management. I know time is less for now, but I'm here at the event today and tomorrow. You can catch me up anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much.